going on, patriots, all the rest of you bastards out there? It's Redneck coming to you. I know it's been a long while, but I'm still here, still alive and kicking. Hadn't put up videos in a good long while, but we're still here. Just had a lot of major changes happen over the past couple of years, and well, last year specifically, things were, made a lot of big changes. Let me see if this will work. I don't know if this will work. Hot damn, it still kept recording. All right. So I'm out here with these ladies. So it's one of the acquisitions from last year. So I got some of these little black-headed dorpers. That little girl right there, man, she got in some ants. We got all these fire ant, these damn fire ants, man, I tell you what. But she had some ants, she put her foot in the ant hill. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, make sure it don't get too bad. And then, of course, we've had a lot of rain, and this stuff out here, depending on where you're at, it's kind of sloppy. And over there where I kind of moved them from, that other little section over there you can see, I just moved them out of that into here. There's a nice little spot where it's got some water in it. So between her gnawing on it and, and some of that standing water, but we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, look at them, they happy as hell, boy. They was over there, they was over there for what, when I moved them over there, what, Tuesday when I got home? Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, so they wasn't even there a full 2 days, and you'd think they were starving to death, but I know it was pretty thin over there, because there's not a whole lot of green, so I threw them some oats out. Trying to stay away from the grain and all that stuff. We just kind of want these girls, the ones that don't thrive, just on this here grass, well, we'll send them to freezer camp and, try to promote, I guess what they call them, grass genetics, that do well on grass. So we got some yard pimps and yard birds up there. Well, I got one yard pimp, and I got 9 hens. We're going to be massively expanding that. So part of my plan is we're going to be running, y'all kind of, some of y'all might just enjoy watching them do their thing. Y'all don't want to look at my ugly face. So what the plan here is, instead of covering all this mess out here with chemical fertilizer that we may or may not be able to get here before too long, or the reliability and price of which is very uncertain, as I'm moving these guys around, I'm going to kind of start following behind them with them chickens, and a pretty good number of them. And the more of these guys there are, definitely the more chickens there will be. And try to use some of that what they call regenerative agriculture, so to speak. So I do need to figure out a spot around here to where I can plant me some stuff that I can make my own chicken feed, or at least the bulk of it, with as minimal outside inputs as possible, just to make ourselves a little more self-sufficient. But all of that to say, and to show you guys, I didn't just, run off into the night and say to hell with it and, all that good stuff. I mean, hell, we still here, still doing our daily thing, trying to, make our own preparations as we see fit and all that good stuff. But I think the hour is late. I think most of y'all watching this knows that, the only thing that gives our currency any value is the fact that it's propped up by that Saudi Arabian oil, also known as the petrodollar. Well, day before yesterday, as at the time I'm recording this video, the Saudi finance minister come out and said, you know, we ain't gonna be dollar exclusive anymore. You know, whether it's you know, the yuan or the euro or the dollar or their own currency, they don't care. Hell, if it spins, they'll take it. Of course, you could always pay in gold and, you know, metals and that kind of stuff. So once everybody figures that out, you know, there ain't nothing backing our currency anymore. And I think it's a very strong potential. I know if I was a businessman on the world market and my business was running a country and I needed energy, I needed that oil to supply my energy. Looking at our policies, I sure as hell wouldn't want to have to go out on the world market and buy US dollars just so I could go buy that oil. If they told me that, you know, I could do a direct exchange or even, you know, exchange it through, you know, use some other currency. You know, hell, we talk about voting with our dollars all the damn time. You know, and, you know, the song this country is singing, well, maybe I should say the entity that is or operates as the good old US of A. You know, there ain't just too many folks like hearing that song. And I'm one of them. You know, hell, we all vote with our dollars. You know, if there's an entity that we don't want to do business with, you know, hell, that Netflix, you know, they put on that little cutie show or whatever the hell that was. Well, shit, I ain't paying for that subscription no more. You know, that's just an example. So when we start voting for our dollars, what do you think makes that any different from some of these countries on the global scale that aren't part of the, I don't know, what do you want to call it, the liberal world order? I know, you know, just whatever the hell you want to call it. So there's a fella that did a lot of traveling. Said used to, didn't matter where he went, he'd spend dollars anywhere, just about just like he was spending them here overseas. And then got to the point to where he started hearing more like, you know, yeah, I guess we'll take them, you know, like they're not too sure, like they really didn't want, they would, but you know, they would rather not, you know, they would rather you go and you know, exchange your exchange the dollars for the local currency and stuff. And hell, it won't be long, it'll just be flat out, no, we ain't taking that. You know, what good faith and credit? There ain't no good faith and credit anymore. You know, there was an illusion of that, but that's long gone. And pretty much the entire world knows it. So we're seeing, and that's the only thing that's kept us afloat. And I think most of you folks are smart enough to that have watched this channel. I think most of y'all are smart enough to know that, and put that kind of stuff together. Maybe some of you that just seen the sheep on the thing decided to click on this here video and see what the hell is going on. You know, y'all might want to look into that. You know, do a little due diligence. You know, hell, I'm proud to be an American. Damn proud of it. But, you know, our country has been hijacked. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of problems. There really is. Even when it comes to, you know, some of the cultural and societal problems, there's a fair bit of that we could all work on. But that's downstream of where we're at now. When you got an elected member of this government on the federal level going overseas to participate in a meeting with the World Economic Forum and says, you know, that our First Amendment, the ability and the freedom to say what we want to say is a problem, and that's about to be handled. That should move you on the inside. So you can go figure out which one it was, but he was over there in that Davos meeting. He was on camera plain as day saying it. You know, and honestly, I think there's even bigger problems than that. I think most folks ain't ready to acknowledge them. But I think here before too long, it's going to be, I mean, for me, it's already plain to see. I mean, granted, it's not direct evidence. A lot of it is circumstantial. But, you know, we don't have access to the appropriate data, you know, to be able to call it direct evidence. But I think it's going to be pretty clear that there was a organized effort, a concerted plan that, you know, a willful engagement in activities that is going to cause, when it's over said and done with, a horrific amount of death and disability that this world has never seen, outside, on a scale that has never been seen outside of the direct intervention of the Creator himself. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I fully expect, in the not too distant future, that's going to be painfully obvious for everybody except for the most deluded among us. And those people that are going to be gave over to that great delusion, there ain't going to be no saving them. They're going to be just like these guys right here that you're looking at, going off to the freezer camp. Except the freezer camp they're going to ain't going to be a freezer camp. And I think that damage has already been done. We are only now really beginning to see the extent of the initial damage. We'll have to wait and see how bad it's really going to be. But I think we're going to be getting into Nuremberg 2 territory. Going to have to. Going to have to. Because if they get away with this, and there's no justice, then all this right here, everything you've ever worked for, all this, you know, blood, sweat, and tears you put into trying to assemble yourself and your family a life, a lifestyle, have something to call your own, provide for your progeny, all that stuff is going to be meaningless. Because as that old boy said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Just like them girls right there and that ram right there. These sheep, boy, look at them. Boy, they are so happy. They don't own shit. They ain't got shit. But you see what? I gave them a little bit of grass over here. Gave them just a little bit of fresh grass right here. Look how happy they are. That's it. If you don't have the resources to come out and invest in a place like this, yeah, we've got over 40 acres out here. It was a lot more than I was prepared to take on. I'm forming relationships with some of my neighbors, help me out in exchange, helping them out, getting back into the local community, and each other's all we're gonna have if this thing goes sideways. And when the global market starts dumping that dollar, I think we're, that's the Saudis signaling that they are open for business in the energy market for other than dollar transactions. You think there ain't fixing to be a whole lot of other folks jumping on board on that? It might not be all at once. It might start as a little trickle, but it will turn into a floodgate. Ask for volunteers to go on a mission. You got one brave son of a bitch stands up, volunteers himself. And then another fellow, well, shit. Well, if he's going, I guess I'm going. And the next thing you know, it's contagious. Once that one person makes that move, everybody else gonna stand there and sit around, look around, see what's going on, and then that's gonna give the courage for somebody else to step forward, and then another and another and another. Just like, I'm fixing to butcher the shit out of this one. One of our founders said, in the beginning, a patriot, he's a scarce man, scorned, vilified, all that mess. But in the end, when his cause is just, the timid will join him. I know I butchered the hell out of that, but you get the idea. So, well, looks like the delivery feller's here. Yep. All right. Matter of fact, I was just talking about doing an expansion with the chickens, and looks like I just had a critical piece of that start arriving. So I'm gonna sign out here, fellas. Patriots, patriots, all the rest of you bastards. Y'all have a good one.